Welcome to our final video tutorial for the AP Language Literary Criticism Research Assignment. We feel like the 5 databases that we have provided you will give you plenty of access. However, we do want to point out a couple other resources that might be helpful for you. One resource is Google Books. If you've used Google Scholar, then you're going to love Google Books as well. As the name implies, this leads us to results for books that have been partially scanned in by Google. This is part of their massive digitization project. The only limitation to the Google Book tool is that the preview of the books is limited, and it varies by book as to what percentage of the book we can see. Sometimes it's up to 80 or 90% of the book. Other times it may be as little as 5 to 10%. On some occasions, if it's a newer title, we may not have any preview of the book. This can be helpful if there's a print book that's checked out from us or the public library and you want to see if it's available in Google Books, or if you're familiar with a series of literary criticism like anything by Harold Bloom that you might want to look for. As some of you might already know, Harold Bloom is kind of the god of the literary criticism world. So maybe I want to look for, something by, Bloom's The Color Purple. Again, you can, search something specifically like that, or, you can search by your author or book title and see what you hit. I'm just going with Bloom's because I know that's always going to be a good source for literary criticism. And right away, I'll see a couple of results that might be good. Okay, so I might want to look at both of those. To open the book, you'll click on the title, and because the word preview's there, that lets me know I can see at least part of the book. And then the navigation toolbar is up here. So if you want to browse the table of contents, and this one actually has quite a bit of the book scanned in that we can see, then you can go in and go directly to that section. And you can scroll to read it, or you can use the arrows to flip the pages. You can also do a double page view. You can click here to go back to single view, and you can zoom in or zoom out with the magnification tools. You'll notice that the text highlighted are words that were part of your search. So every time the color purple appears in the book, that's highlighted. If you want to take that highlighting away because it might be distracting, then you can just hit clear search and then continue working with the book. As I mentioned earlier, we can't download or print these, but these are pretty readable online. So, you could have the book open and take your notes by hand, or maybe have Word or Google Docs open and kind of go back and forth. If you want the link to get back to the book very quickly, then you can do that. You can send a citation from Google Books into Easybib, but there is a little bit of a trick to it. If you go to our page, Google Books, on the research guide, not only do you have access to the search tool for Google Books here, but we do have a video tutorial on the steps involved to do it. I do recommend that you use Internet Explorer, which is a browser. I rarely recommend, but for this process, Internet Explorer might be best to use for grabbing the citation because there are a few steps with downloading and uploading files. So just a heads up that might be something that you might want to explore. We also have a page that has a link that's called Print Books. It has a link to search our card catalog. You can also search Overdrive, which is another ebook collection, although most of that is geared toward teachers. We also have some titles and series in the spotlight, although this certainly is not all of what we have. There's actually quite a bit that we still have in print that you can access. So just a heads up. A couple other odds and ends. If you go back to the database page where we accessed our databases and scroll down, we want to point out to you that if you do belong to the public library, you actually have access to another Gale collection of literature criticism called Gale Literature Resource Center. And again, you can open the link to that page for the public library by clicking on the tiny link beneath it. And if you belong to the public library, or if you don't, you can go and join for free. You can use your patron barcode number on your card to then log in to their Gale databases and have access to that collection. Gale Literature Resource Center works just like student resources in context and GVRL. So if you belong to the public library or need an incentive to go join, that can be a very handy tool for you. Last but not least, for the most part, you're not going to find any literary criticism that's going to be accessible for us in Google Scholar. You might find a PDF here or there, but most of that is going to be linking you to articles that are available through databases that we don't have access to, like JSTOR or some of the ProQuest databases or Muse. But if you do find something that's usable, and again, consult with your teacher, we do have some video tutorials on citing resources from Google Scholar. I don't think that any of you will need to go to Google Scholar because there should be plenty in the Mackin group as well as the Google Books. And then if you have access to the public library, you belong to it, you have Gale LRC, then you should be good to go. If you do have any questions or need assistance with any of these resources, please come see Ms. Hamilton or email her using the email tool that's available on every page of the research guide. Thank you.